Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Community and Social Services. Minister, this government has prioritized transforming the developmental services sector with an historic investment for developmental services over the past 2 years. In Kitchener Centre, I have heard from agencies, community leaders and families about the positive impact that this investment has had. In fact, just this past weekend, I dropped in on KW Rehabilitation for their first annual Christmas Bazaar, which was a huge success. And Mr. Speaker, I even got some Christmas shopping done. This transformation is not just about the investment, but we are creating a more inclusive Ontario through innovation. Mr. Speaker, could the minister please inform this House of some of the innovations that are helping to create a province where people with developmental disabilities can live as independently as possible in their communities?
Minister of Community and Social Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member from Kitchener Centre for the question. My ministry works very diligently to ensure that people with developmental disabilities have every opportunity for dignity and inclusion. Through other ministries, including the Ministry of Labour and the Ministry of Economic Development, Employment and Infrastructure, we are working across government to ensure we are providing the right employment opportunities. Included as part of this transformation is a shift from a sheltered workshop model towards individualized community participation supports and training and support for competitive employment. As a first phase of this approach, developmental services agencies will not fill any vacancies that arise in sheltered workshops. However, no program will be phased out without appropriate alternatives in place. This will be a well-considered, appropriately timed transition. We recognize that it is vital for the shift to be gradual and person-centred, so there is a smooth transition for the individuals participating in these settings.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the Minister for her answer. This shift away from sheltered workshops toward a more individualized experience for people receiving day programming supports is something that agencies have been doing for some time. And in my riding of Kitchener Centre, agencies have been making this transition for a number of years, and it's the parents and the dedicated workers who are helping to drive this change. The Executive Director of KW Rehabilitation, a wonderful woman by the name of Anne Bilodeau, says that she, and I quote, appreciates the government's intention to work with people individually and the promise that no one will be left behind. Mr. Speaker, could the minister please explain how the ministry is pursuing this transformation and how local agencies are moving toward the goal of inclusivity in the province of Ontario for everyone?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Agencies will work closely with individuals and families to offer inclusive supports and programming that best meet their needs and goals. As I've said, no sheltered workshop program will be phased out without appropriate alternatives in place. The shift away from sheltered workshops is not only about employment, it is ultimately about inclusion. Jobs are only one of the options an individual can choose to pursue. They may prefer to focus on community participation, such as volunteering or recreational opportunities. The ministry will be engaging with clients, families, agencies, unions and frontline workers to carefully plan this transition over time. Last fall, we launched the Employment and Modernisation Fund, providing approximately $4 million for projects across the province to help developmental service agencies enhance their employment support programs. A number of projects funded involve shifting away from sheltered workshops, and we are already seeing some very positive results emerging. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.